Greetings, everybody. Much respect. My name is Kwesi Achosi. I'm the founder of African Roundtable. We're recording from our premises now. This is a brief video introducing the Building Trust Consortium. What you're about to see is a brief introduction from our main consortium members. So you'll hear from Sister Jay and Sister Esther, who are representing Just Education Matters, Sister Wadzanai, who's representing Manhood Academy Global, Sister Julieta, who is representing the Afriku Bantu Saturday School, and then again, you'll hear from me representing African Roundtable. Together, we are building trust. I hope this brief video helps and enjoy. Much respect.
Okay, hello, I'm Esther, and I'm one of the directors of GEM Community Interest Company. I'm really happy to be with this collective, this consortium, Building Trust, and looking forward to the work we're going to be doing together. Just to tell you a little bit about who we are made up of a board of 3 directors, and we came about because we're collectively passionate about supporting families to navigate the hellish procedural aspects of exclusions and suspensions, particularly those that are legal and illegal. We also wanted to see more community engagement and activism in tackling the scourge of educational exclusions. And finally, what we wanted to do was to start to dismantle some of the structural ideologies, policies, practices, and regimes which promote educational exclusion and in turn perpetuate racist and disabled stereotypes, disadvantaging excluded children, especially Black children and Black boys in particular, relegating them as a group to substandard forms of education and setting them for life in prison. We're looking forward really to receiving some resources to be able to continue with the work we're doing in supporting families. And Joan is going to speak to you a bit more about how we're going to do that.
How we work essentially is we provide spaces for parents to come together. So we have forums and we also provide training. So we provide training workshops for parents and also for people who are working. So youth mentors and anyone else that is working with young people. We recognize that there's 700,000 odd exclusions a year. And behind those statistics are individual children, and they have things that intersect. So things like special education needs and disability, generational unemployment, all of these things that intersect with them. So by working together with other community organizations, we can help to support young people around those intersections. We're also very, very passionate about having no exclusions whatsoever. We would like to see that taken off completely within the UK. And we feel that in order to do this, we have to make sure that parents are aware of what the exclusion system looks like, what the education system looks like, and also to rethink what the kind of education they would like for their children, which would include the history, personal development, all of the things that young people are passionate about, but that can also help them to live more productive lives. So we provide a range of services around support, going to meetings at school, but our main passion and our main focus is early intervention. And that's why we work collaboratively with organizations that are in this space, because we want to see an end to exclusions. We also campaign for no more exclusions and the changing policies in schools. That's what we do. Thank you very much.
Much respect, Sister Esther, Sister Jay. Thank you for sharing only a little bit about the amazing work you do. Sister Wadzanai, if you'd like to tell us a bit about Manhood Academy Global and what brings you to Building Trust. Much respect.
Thank you. Yes, I'm very excited to be here working with everybody as we work together to change the lives in the community, one family at a time. Manhood Academy Global, essentially, we are a organization that works with primarily young people, so primarily young boys from the age of 8 to 12, and then also from the age of 13 to 19. So we've actually split the cohort so that we can actually tailor the workshops that we do with the young people so they're age appropriate. And we also have a strand of work where we work with the families, because we recognize that it's great to do all this fantastic work with the young people, but if you're not empowering or supporting the families to continue this work, then you can end up in a situation where the work is going to be futile. The way the organisation is structured is that we've got a board of trustees, a senior leadership team, and we've also got a growing team of mentors that support our young people and our families. We recognise the importance of providing a holistic service, and that's one of the reasons why we work with all members of the family, from the children to the adults, including the elders, if so required. The funding that we're going to be looking for is going to be really, really instrumental, I think, in the work that we're all going to be doing together. I'm really excited by the opportunity that lies ahead of us, purely because we can shift the culture. You know, we can create a holistic cultural shift in our community where we can empower families through creative means so they can be more assertive in the pursuit of positive outcomes for ourselves, our families, and our community. And I'm just really excited to be here, so we're able to change lives one family at a time. And I'm going to pass it on to Brother Kwesi.
Much respect, Sister Wadzanai. I really appreciate that. And again, it's only a small glimpse of the work that's been done in the Academy, but much respect for broaching the topic. And Sister Julieta from Afriku Bantu Saturday School, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your organization and what brings you to Building Trust. Much respect.
Thank you very much, Brother Quasi. Yeah, so as you've introduced me, I'm Sister Julieta Joseph from the Afrika Bantu Saturday School. We've been going for many years now, and our main work that we do really is supplementary education on a Saturday. We do the core curriculum subjects with our young people aged between 5 and 16, maths, English, science and African history, exploring the continent of Africa and the Caribbean. And we tend to be open during term times only, mirroring the school kind of year. And we open on a Saturday between 9:15 and 12:30. Overall, even though that is our main offer, we also have additional work that we do, which we've done through the year. We've done like many different types of workshops with young people and the families. So we've done things around exclusions, choosing a secondary school, issues around education, like exclusions, as I've said. We've done drumming, various trips, educational trips, science trips, and also some fun trips with the students as well. We also have a parents forum that meets regularly. Again, exploring a range of topics. Parents sometimes might come with suggestions to us, or we may make suggestions for those subjects in terms of what's happening with the curriculum in this country. We also have parents' mornings where we give feedback to the parents on how their children are doing academically and make suggestions for improvements. We are, as part of our timetable, we have like a Kwanzaa that takes place in December. We have a Pan-African Sports Day that usually takes place in June or July in the summer. And we also have an awards ceremony that takes place, which is very, very important, which we invite the community and parents to come to. Our structure involves a governing body, which has got a number of different people heading that, such as the head teacher, chairperson, finance person, admin, an outreach person, for example, and a business manager. So obviously we are very grateful to be part of a consortium where we can come together. Over the years, we've done a lot of joint work with different organisations and groups, notably other Saturday schools like us. So yeah, we look forward to coming together to support our young people, because we know that in the education system, they're not always doing very well. There are going to be notable examples where they're doing fantastically well, but generally speaking, our children are not doing as well as they should be. So, you know, offering supplementary education on a Saturday is crucial. And we've had a lot of anecdotal support from parents and comments that they feel that, you know, our input has really helped their children. And one of the testimonies I will just share briefly is that many of the pupils will come back to try and give some time back to Afrika Bantu on a Saturday and sort of, as if to say they're kind of paying back what we've input into them. So yeah, that's us very, very briefly.
Much respect, Sister Julia. I really appreciate that. And again, it's only a small fraction of the work that ABSS has done over the years, but thank you for summarizing it for us. I'll go next. My name is Brother Kwesi Achosi, and I'm the founder of African Roundtable. And I guess the best way that I can explain the work we do is by making reference to all of the organizations who are here. So the idea of building trust was actually launched at one of the Kwanzaa events that Sister Julieta just humbly described. Afriku Bantu Saturday School have organized Kwanzaas for decades now, and it's, from my position, it's the biggest Kwanzaa celebration in the UK, and it gathers everybody from across our community together, not only to celebrate what we've done for the year and to celebrate the achievements of our young people, but for us to organize. So we have representatives from the Black-led and Pan-African groups that will come to the Kwanzaa in order to engage with the community and get a mandate for their work. So Building Trust was announced. It was one of the keynote presentations at the 2014 Kwanzaa, organized by ABSS in Brixton. And the whole premise of that work was to bring together the Pan-African organizations, primarily supplementary schools in the area, and bring us together so that we could take a stand against the violent gentrification that was impacting our community. And that in itself was driven by government austerity and the cost of living crisis. And our organizations were facing closure, despite being viable, despite serving hundreds of young people and their families. We were forced to come together and pool our resources and collectivize our efforts to continue our work. So Building Trust has always been an intergenerational project, a Pan-African project, where we are ensuring the continuation of our institutions, and we are continuing to empower our young people and encourage them to step into these leadership positions. So that's basically our remit and what we do. And in terms of how we all work together collectively, a lot of the work here needs to be understood in a revolutionary, radical perspective, because the advocacy work that we're proposing doing with parents, for example, that puts the power back in families' hands for them to understand how the system works, how they can hold schools accountable, how they can get more representation for their taxpayers' money, how our taxes can go towards more than disproportionate prison sentences and poor educational outcomes. We want to empower our parents to truly hold government to account. So the space that GEM already provides has great radical and revolutionary potential. And by working together in consortium, we can build on that and coordinate our parents' efforts to really drive radical societal change. And the same is true of Manhood Academy Global with the counseling service. This collective here since September has already launched the CAPS project, which is the Counseling and Advocacy Pilot Service. And what we're doing with CAPS Project is we're providing free counseling to our young people and their families so that we can really begin the process of repairing the damage that society is causing to the individual and to the family. And while we're doing that counseling work, we're providing that advocacy work, we're empowering them to challenge school decisions. And the last thing I'll say as well is we're also using international legal frameworks as well. We know that the International Convention for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination is a powerful legal tool that provides for our political rights, our rights to education, our rights to housing and healthcare and so on. Those international frameworks often aren't accessed by our community and by Pan-African groups because we lack the resources. And where the resources are available, we are encouraged to be competitive. So we're grateful to Joseph Rowntree for actually creating this movement fund and for seeing it as a pilot and for trying to come up with new ways to support organizations such as us. We've come together in this consortium so that we can really make a difference in what we're doing. And we hope that Joseph Rowntree will take our application seriously, read our proposals, and engage with us in ways that we can make this work. So I'll end it there. Hopefully this is a good introduction, and we look forward to speaking with you again shortly. Much respect.